people that read, write, and do arithmetic.
Well, actually, start at the beginning because we started talking about.
No, I was trying to get the piece started. So
okay.
Actually, this is OPM.
And this is not a spring chick. Today we're going to be talking about
what scares the President of the United States and the Democratic Party most about the American people. And it basically is not the majority of the people, it's the minority of the people they're afraid of. Those people that got an education before the Democrats took control of the school systems.
I mean, I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but if you listen to the things that are coming out, I mean, a lot of you are wondering, can they add or can they not add?
And absolutely cannot add, because I was listening to people, we're talking to people that are on national, actually they're on public television talking, stockbrokers, people in business, that if your sales are lower than the last quarter, your company is essentially the same because they haven't added, they haven't let go more people, they haven't done a lot to just sitting on the inventory. You can't, if you're selling less, you can't have a bigger profit than you're selling less, you're making more, you're making less money, and you've got a huge profit.
Yeah.
That doesn't add up. It's impossible. It's the same thing as one of the guys said that, I was listening to one of them, he said that they absolutely cannot add 1 and 1 and come up with 2. They add 1 and 1 and come up with a 502. Because he's looking at the things. He said sales in retail and sales across other non-retail areas are flat. Flat meaning is they aren't doing well. And yet you had 435 out of the 500 companies in the Dow Jones declared profits. They can't. It's an impossibility. Because they've laid off all of the people that they could lay off. They cut everything that they could cut back the last quarter. And the last quarter was a disaster. But this quarter is better than the last quarter. Because while we made more money, we actually profited more. We made less money but profited more. There's no business on earth that can say, we didn't make as much money this year as we made last year, but we had a profit that was 100 times larger, and we didn't cut back anybody this year. All the cutbacks wouldn't work. If operating conditions are the same as they were the last quarter, and you made less, you cannot make more money. You can't declare a profit. I don't know. It's just like I read, I can write, and I can do arithmetic. So can she. But most of the people that follow the President of the United States Democratic Party could do none of the above. They watch television.
Do you really think that scares them? I mean, I know they're having the bloggers convention in Las Vegas, and actually, if we had known about that, we might have been intrigued to go because they've got bloggers from the left side as well as from the right side.
Here's the good side: the Democratic Party will let us come to their events. The Republican Party doesn't want us to come because we're internet. Who hates the internet most of all?
I know.
It's the Democrats. Who has more people that use the internet?
I know.
The Republicans. They said that you are more likely to have an internet connection and use it more than a person on the left. And yet the Republicans totally and absolutely have contempt for the internet.
I know, isn't that the irony of it all?
I know it. The people that use it and people that don't use it as much but use it to their best advantage, they hate the internet. They want to shut it down because of the simple fact they got a lot of old people basically don't have anything else to do, so they're using the internet. They're paying attention to the news. They don't watch the nightly news anymore because there was a time they knew that when the people on the news, gave you the news, they gave you the news honestly. They basically didn't have an axe to grind. They just came out and read the news. It started changing with Walter Cronkite. I was there when Walter Cronkite said that we have suffered a major disaster and that we must start pulling out the troops immediately. The Tet Offensive, we won the Tet Offensive. But Walter Cronkite came on live and said that we had a major disaster and we'd lost. That was the first time one of the modern newscasters changed the structure of something in our country. Because, they've done it, like muckrakers, William Randolph Hearst would he basically tried to, he was a rabble-rouser. But it was the first time, though, that a newsman had simply decided to take it upon himself to decide the nature, how this country should be ran. and it's what Cronkite did. Today they all decide that, right or left. Nobody cares about the people anymore. I mean, Republicans, which is funny, Republicans are basically no better than Democrats, but the Republicans want people to learn how to read, write, and do arithmetic.
Sounds like your parent.
I know, but...
Although it is better for you in the long run if you can do that.
Yeah, but the problem is that the school system, I know, okay, they're getting ready. Well, if you score more than 5 runs or score more than 3 touchdowns in a game, we're going to have to call the game in favor of the other team because we don't want to hurt their feelings. You know, which means if you go out, if you win the game, they give it to the other side. If you win the game by too many runs, or score too many baskets, or get too many, basically that's why so many people on the left love soccer, because there's no scoring in soccer.
Yeah, but here's part of it is why would they be concerned because the White House and all, they're rewriting history. And it's not just them. This happens all over the place.
Right.
So they're rewriting history and hoping that people can add, but people can add.
Yeah, well...
But see, part of it is they know that there's some that do, but they still do it anyway.
Well, because they try, okay, most of the people in my age category, we learned to read, write, and arithmetic. Reading, writing, and arithmetic, whether we liked it or not, because of the old, wow, don't do that. There's lots of rapped knuckles in school. And the parents would actually look at the grade cards. Well, nowadays, I mean, I can guarantee you, I signed a grade card once that had happy faces on it. That was what she got was happy faces.
For all that work?
For all the work, and they said that, well, she didn't do as well as we wanted her to do, but we gave her a happy face anywhere because we didn't want to hurt her feelings. I mean,
good, but can do better.
They can do better, but she still got to, there are no grades. Grades cause competition, and competition causes problems. Well, my problem is from the time the little rodent was like this, I taught her she was able to use the computer. She could compose, she could play the piano, she could actually read the writing notes, she'd write her own music. She also was doing, by the time she got into kindergarten, she was second year algebra. And when she got, basically they punished her for 2 years for being smarter than everybody else. Punished her for 2 years for being smarter than the other people. And then they jumped her 4 grades to 3rd year. Yeah, jumped her. They, 4 grades because, well, we have to put her in a class where she won't embarrass the other students.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so she's like, what is it, 5, 6, 7, 8, she's like 5, 7, she's like 8 years old and in the 8th grade. Yeah, jumped her. Because
that's not quite right.
And they still gave her happy faces. So that's the school system. They no longer teach. Okay, let's put it this way. I played football in college with a guy that never attended class once.
Really?
And they gave him straight A's.
Why?
Because basically they didn't want to hurt his feelings. Not that he was a great football player. Well, we don't want to hurt his feelings.
Oh, that's bad.
And, if he didn't attend if the star didn't attend.
Why would anybody else attend?
Then why, he got A's, we could hurt his feelings if we didn't give him. I attended. I had to work for my A's. But the others that didn't attend, well, we don't want to hurt their feelings because here's one. I got blamed once. I got blamed specifically for having an A average. You've caused problems in this class. So I knew that was a start. It caused problems in the class.
Really?
Well, you have screwed up the bell curve. Now we're going to have to go. We're going to have to change we're going to have to eliminate. Basically what they did was eliminated my A and started at a C+, so that there'd be nobody that got a D in the class. Great, isn't it? So just like I spent 3 months in college for a waste of time on the grade thing. So, but that was the start. That was 50 years ago. 50 that they started that. I had teachers, basically the older teachers were from the older school. You don't do the work, you don't get the grade. And they said, when I say read, you know, Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. We're going to give you a test on Romeo and Juliet. You better know it tomorrow.
Oh, and you love those pop quizzes?
Oh yeah, pop quizzes. They don't do pop. Oh, they can do a pop. Oh, I'll give you. The little girl had a pop quiz.
Yeah.
I love the pop quiz.
What was it?
They gave all the students the answers to the quiz.
Are you serious?
They give them the answers to the pop quiz and said, basically it was, can you sign your name properly? Because the answers, they give them the answers right along. There's a pop quiz, here's the answers, and then you sign your name, just take that. There were people that, she said there were people that actually fell, but they didn't fail because they wrote their name right. Put it this way, because they couldn't read, they didn't know which one went to where.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but because they couldn't read. Could not read an ounce. So, they don't care about that. It's unimportant today. I figure out this way. This is a computer right here, folks. You have to know where to turn it on. You have to know what to do on the keyboard to get to where you want to go. Mm-hmm. Unless somebody saves it in a favorite thing for you. Because they do have a thing, I can't push internet on it. It will take you directly to the internet. I guess if you know which button says favorite on the computer, you can have somebody that actually can program it in for you, and then all you have to do is push the buttons. Certain buttons. Basically, it's like Pavlov and his dog, where you teach them to do, just push a button and it'll take you to where we want you to go because we didn't bother to teach you to read. Mm-hmm. Then they look at the pretty pictures. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think porn is so big on the internet?
You don't have to read to watch porn.
You don't have to read to watch the porn.
Of course, you don't have to read to watch some of the other stuff either.
No, but why do you think the internet movies aren't, you know, like the old movies, the old TV shows and stuff aren't as popular?
Oh, really? Why?
Because they don't understand the words they're saying.
Oh, that's sad.
I mean, they do not understand the words that people are saying. You will not find anything you will not find Greek dramas that are very popular, even though, you know, you see them on Turner Classic Movies. The people go, say the Sabin women, with Katharine Hepburn and a lot of major stars. Because there's a lot of multi-syllable words that people, you go A, E, I, O, U. Well, that's an awful lot of syllables to learn. A, E, I, O, U. And how many letters are there in the alphabet? A, D, Z. Well, you pass. And then, how much? Okay, this is the test for your advancement. Teacher goes behind your back. How much is this? You passed. But
that's pretty pathetic.
But if the teacher was to do this, 5, there's the next president of the United States. Yeah, no, they're terrified. The President of the United States, okay, the President of the United States has never read the Constitution of the United States. The President of the United States was a constitutional scholar.
Are you serious?
He has no comprehension what's in the Constitution.
Or do you think he's just doing it to get around it?
He has no comprehension what's in the Constitution. He'll tell you that the Constitution says this. And they'll go, oh, we're in the Constitution.
Well, all he has to do is read it.
You will have distinguished members of the United States Senate and House of Representatives that are constitutional authorities and said the Constitution guarantees you this. No, it doesn't. There's nothing nowhere. I mean, it's never even been interpreted to do that. But they'll tell you flat out. And nowhere in the Constitution does it say the right to bear arms. It's in the Bill of Rights.
It's in the Bill of Rights.
The President of the United States will say that there is no guarantee to bear arms in the Constitution of the United States. He will also say there...
wait, the Bill of Rights is part of the Constitution.
Yeah, it's part of the Constitution. And this morning, for instance, what pisses me off this morning is we have 78 members of the Democratic Party have said, our country, this president has done so many things that are great for this nation that we cannot afford to stop the emphasis forward by having an election this fall. We need to set the election off later so that we can continue to do the things that are needed to turn this nation around.
In other words, it's too important to have an election. We should just keep the people in office.
Yeah.